I mess around and hear that same song by some artist who already done put it out, shot a video to and everything. And I'm just like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
You're just gonna, it's nothing. One thing I've learned in my 22 years of living, nothing in this life is ever just gonna be easy. You're going to have some sort of friction, struggle, heartache, pain. You're going to want to throw your head in the wall. You're going to want to just scream to the top of your lungs. You're going to be stressed. You're going to go through so much, but at the end of it, the beauty of the journey is the reward, because you bust your behind so much. Like me personally, I know for a fact I still got some ways to go, and I'm trying to get there as soon as I possibly can, but I do understand that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Hello, and welcome to The Connecting Point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion table today. This is a place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories to transform the world through raw and unedited talk. And we have someone who's been here before. He's back again.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yes. His name is Shun Hendrix. Yes.
What's goody? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Good.
Glad to be back. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, we want to know what you're doing now. That's why we asked him to come back, because want to know what good stuff is happening. Of course, I've heard and I've seen some of it, but he's back to give us an update on his creativity. Shun,
what's going on? What's going on, Miss Simmons?
Thank you for being here.
I'm blessed and honored to be here. Like, honestly, I just want to first and foremost say thank you for inviting me, to allow me to showcase my talent. Like, that was one of the most best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And for my parents to be there, it spoke volumes. So that's definitely one for the books. Thank you so much.
Well, look, let me tell the audience what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about. Well, we just had the ultimate networking party this past Saturday. It was the Creators Connect Party for all of those who are creators, mainly for the ones who are part of the Connecting Point for Creators group, which we'll talk about later on in the show. But Shun was one of the performers. And I mean, he had us up, cruising. You know, old school might think cruising was Smokey Robinson. My age group might think cruising was it Jaheim? Yes, Jaheim did a little cruising. But nah, this is the millennial cruising, but it's reaching across. It's reaching across the age, the eras here. So, Shun.
Yes, ma'am.
What you been doing? We're gonna talk about that cruising in a minute.
I've been well. Actually in school, like right after this interview, I have like a bunch of work I gotta get to. Hopefully I can make this deadline. But other than that, I've been great. I'm about to put out this new music, putting out this project, and just finishing out my year strong. I want to say I definitely had a lot of life lessons learned this year, overcome a lot of situations, and I'm becoming more of a man, and I'm grateful to God for it.
And listen here, I see it all over you. I mean, really, you have no idea how I feel, and I know your mother feels, when we see those who we've watched grow up into manhood. And since you're talking about that, what are some life lessons that you have learned traveling into manhood?
Well, I've learned you have to keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah.
I've learned that you have to be smart about your financial decisions, because they just don't affect you. They affect domino effect people, honestly. And also be true to you. Be honest with your heart, and never let someone steer you from your dreams. Never.
That is one of the most important things you can say. You know, I had a coworker tell me just last week, He said, Dr. Simmons, let me ask you something. Why is it that this younger generation, they try to be like everybody else and not themselves? And he said, you know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be me. And at the time when he asked me that, I said, this got to be God, because that's what I'm teaching about. I'm doing a whole unit on it right now called Express Yourself and Not Being Fake. And so let's talk about that a little bit. How important is that to be you in this social media era where everything is pseudo?
Honestly, to be you is probably the diamond. It's the gold right now. It's so valuable and so rare because everything's a gimmick now. People think that if I could throw on this particular costume, act this particular way, I'm gonna attract everything in life I've ever wanted, which is not really the case. And some people fail to realize that reality also holds some false pretenses. And I personally say, if you come into the game being you, you'll have more likely odds of leaving that same particular world very sane. Because a lot of people who come into this whole situation and do those type of things, have those gimmicks and be something that they're not, they lose themselves. And then eventually they can't find that door back to who they once were. So
it doesn't work at all. It really doesn't work because when you're being someone else, you're not happy within. Nobody can tell me they're happy being somebody.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And so when you're expressing yourself as your true, authentic self, then that is a form of expression that you're releasing to the world. And it also fulfills you in return. So those people who are trying to fake, stop it.
And don't fake it. I mean, they say fake it till you make it, but in these days, man, be real.
Don't fake it.
Honest, just stay true to you. Just stay true to you, please.
Yes, just stay true. Now, and you staying true, that artistry that you have, that voice that you have, has, I've seen it since you were little. Of course, you know, when you were in elementary school, the one that would always be ready to sing at the drop of a dime.
I'm talking about on go.
On go. Listen, I'm telling you on go, because I would, and I said this in another interview, I would actually, when it was time for a performance, and I didn't feel like the whole chorus was going to be delivering like I wanted them to, I'd go and pull, I can't say your real name, Shun.
Thank you.
He's working with me. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. I'm going to remember not to do that. But I would go and pull Shun and ask him to sing, and he was always ready. And so he's had this gift. You've been really walking in your purpose for a very long time.
Thank you.
You might not have thought of it as such, but you have been. And so how do you feel in this moment?
I feel human. I mean, there's just a whole mix of emotions. I feel happy. I feel a little bit of anxiety. I feel inspired. I feel passionate. And at the same token, though, I feel kind of weird because now I'm coming into adulthood, like I said, and this is a different kind of, perspective than when I was a kid. So now having this feeling as an adult now, it's like, I can't even explain it. It's so unfathomable. It's beyond my thought. I'm just grateful that it makes me feel so empowered to keep doing it.
Yeah. And I think I said this you may have left the party already, but I did say, there are moments as creators that we get weary and we get tired. We want to throw in the towel. I've been in that moment, lately, but there's something within that will not let you quit. And that is the purpose that you're called to do. That is what keeps me going. when I want to say forget it. And so I imagine that music that you have inside of you is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Shun. Yeah, she slipped up this time.
I almost it was, but you know, when somebody loves you like that, you know. I love you like one of mine. But you
I am one of yours.
You are. Let me change that. You are.
I am one of yours.
You are one of mine. You are definitely one of mine. And so I want you to tell us about this new project that you have out. I know you told us about cruising, but what else is around the bend?
Well, there's no date set for it yet, but I do have a project that I'm anticipating on putting out called Love Taps. It's, I would say, a beautiful collection of songs that's, like I said, is showing that growth, showing that transition. And now it's getting to more of a finding tuning of a sound, which is going to like prepare me for the next batch of songs I got. And I ended up recording like 60 records. So I have like I have material for a good little while.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Being prepared is also something that you must do when you're trying to get somewhere. You can't just get up willy-nilly saying you're going to move to this location and you haven't even packed a bag. So it's the same with your gifts. You have to prepare. And sometimes preparation may take us some years. And that's what, you know, sometimes gets discouraging. Because you're wanting it right then. You're wanting it right then, and you're wondering, okay, I've been doing this, seems like I've been doing this forever, and still it's not where I want it to be. But you have been preparing all your life. You really have. Now you've reached that point where you have found, it's almost like I can describe it. I know exactly what you're talking about because I went through that where you're thinking you're at a momentum, you're moving in your gift or whatever, but then there comes a moment when God says, this is really what I had for you. You've been preparing all this time, but you now have hit it. Is that how you feel?
It's like what they say, he doesn't give you what you want, he gives you what you need.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I definitely, not just as an artist, but just as a person that I have learned. Like, I've realized that even in the things that I may have wanted, in the end, I was always shown that that's something that I never really needed in my life. It didn't make it no better. So, and I've understood that. So.
And you know, one of those things that, and I've been saying this too, I said it the other night, I said it again this morning, I actually posted it, that you have to be ready for when you're walking in your calling and purpose for people to fall off. You got to be ready for some people to fall off. And that's not bad, because if they fall off, they weren't meant to be there. They were just there for a season.
For a little bitty reason.
Yes. Have you experienced the fall off yet?
Oh, man. What? I can tell you right now, my friend circle from 2017 to 2021, it's very small.
It's small. And that's, you know, I recently had to talk to my children about that. I said, you know what? Just get ready for that. When you start moving to different realms in your gifting, just be ready for it. I'm telling you now, be ready for it. So when it happens, it doesn't hurt you.
You're right.
If you know and you're prepared for it, you will be able to move on. And guess what, y'all? I hate to tell you, but I don't. You will see the fall off on every level that you move to.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be ever so interchanging.
Every level that you move to.
That's why you got to keep your core. You got to keep the people that really love you for you.
And you know, I'm going to say this to you since you're on here. My son said, Shun is one of the real ones. We discussed that recently. I said, yeah, you might have had some people fall off, but that one right there, he's one of the real. So look, listen.
I'm thankful for that.
Well, yeah, I'm just telling you, you know, I'm just going to tell you like it is. You are one of the real. And that's what we love about you and appreciate about you. And you put that in your music as well. So you express that. You express, and you're the, let me see, the best way for me to describe it. You are this generation's Usher Raymond. You're another generation of, I would say, a Smokey Robinson. And I'm saying those things because of the smoothness in your voice. Have you heard that before?
That's a new one. I mean, the Usher, I got that all my life. So that's inspiration. But Smokey, that's a new one. That's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the way you carry yourself is respectable. The way your music is conveyed is just, you know, you had us 50-year-olds up and dancing Saturday night.
I'm talking about they were grooving too. They were.
You had, look, I said, somebody come get this camera. I was trying to record. I said, y'all better come get this camera so I can get up, you know, because it did, that music stirred something up. Listen. So you keep doing what you're doing because I see it. Now listen. What brought that tune on, Cruising?
It was brought to me by an A&R by the name of Key Money, and this was back like I made that song back in 2018, 2019, and we were in this hot room all the way on the east side, and like I just remember Key Money talking about just cruising, and I'm like, why does he keep saying cruising? But then he just started saying, ooh, and I was like, wait, it's summer cruise, baby. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what I did there. And so once I went in, I kid you not, the first verse, I just went in and just did it off the top of my head. So it was like one of those in the moment type situations. And I was so in love with that song after I got done. Like, it's definitely one I hold close to my heart. Like, that's my baby. That's my record.
Oh, you can tell. You can definitely. That song right there, I'm gonna call it right now. That's gonna get you a Grammy.
That song give me a Grammy. I promise you, I'm gonna come to your door first with it.
Listen, it's gonna get you one. I'm telling you. Because God is going to show you some unique things to do with it so that it will move you to that level. I recently saw you doing a live performance that I really wanted to be at. And that particular day, my body said no. I wanted to be there. So I was so tired and drained because school had started. And that's another thing, balancing, working businesses. I'm working 2 businesses and my job. So trying to balance those things and get the proper rest. I've had to, you know, cut back on some things that I like to do. And one of them, I was going to try to push that particular night because I said, I've got to get there. And I didn't get there. But when I saw the recording from that show, I told you on the phone, I said, that was flawless. From the beginning to the end, it was flawless.
Thank you so much.
And it added a certain, it added another feel to the song.
Honestly, if I could, and I'm definitely going to talk to your son about that, I want to make that my regular show track.
That right there with that heart. Oh, yeah, y'all don't know what we're talking about. Where can they go? They can go to YouTube and get it, right?
Yeah, they can go. Yeah,
go
they can go
to
on
Heart
YouTube.
Season. harp season. They did a live performance with the harp. When I tell y'all,
violin, bass,
it was violin. It was like, yes, that right there. Woo!
Shouts out to harp season. That's a great platform. Great platform.
So musical and acoustical. Man, and then your voice on top of that. Okay. Ladies. Ladies. See, that's the kind of music this generation needs to hear.
Well, my goal is to showcase this to the masses, not just for, I would do it for the Corner Store people too. But I want to take it to a place where we don't just always have to see one thing.
Right.
Like, I want to bring the variety back into music where it's not just the people who've been here since 2009. Like, where's the new generation wave of people in this area? But also, shout out to my women of R&B. They holding it down like a
yeah, they're holding it down. They're holding it down. But listen, one thing I have learned about acoustical music is it forces you to really hone in on the lyrics. It's something about the acoustical sounds of string instruments, period. It makes you focus on the lyrics. So when you start listening to the lyrics and man, and don't put no glass of wine with it, you just
honestly, when I tell you, when we started like performing that, I just I've never fell into the music the way I fell into that entire setup. It was just so amazing.
Yeah, I could tell. I said, listen at this here. Y'all, listen, audience. I should have pulled it up, but now y'all go look at it. Go and look at it. Click it, like it, and share it. It is, what do they call it? It's the live harp season.
Yep, live harp season. Just go on harp season, YouTube, I believe.
Yeah. So it is just amazing what you all did that night. Now, going back to your single that's out.
Yes, ma'am.
Give us a little synopsis of it.
Hold on one second. My dog, he wants to go in and out. Hold on 1 second. Hi. You want to say hey, people? You want to say hey, Cole? Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yes. Cruise. You said you want to hear a little sample of it.
Yes, I want to hear a little sample of Cruise. I heard some the other night, but the audience, they couldn't hear what I heard.
Let me see. Tell me what it has to be. I try so hard for you to understand me, but you don't want to see me go. But I don't know. It ain't about what was before. No, you got to know. I got you, baby. I know you know I drive you crazy. Now what we planned when we started this, but we can call it quits, 'cause it's all a crew, baby.
Cruise. Where can they find that?
Cruise is not out yet. It's coming out September.
Y'all, it's not out. Y'all should have been at the Creators Connect party.
I told you that was only for you and this event, for these people. This was this particular time. You know what I'm saying? Before I even get to really perform it, I want to perform it here just for y'all.
We appreciate it. We are honored. We feel honored, I guess, to get that, because I tell you, y'all, you don't know when it's coming out again?
No, September 10th. It's coming out September 10th.
I missed that when you said it. So that's in a week or two.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. We're actually having a couple of events for it. Actually might be doing a karaoke night, so that's on the list as well. We're getting some promo for that. Other than that, we're just rolling out good material. That's it. Keeping it out, the good music, and just trying to get it to the masses. Point blank period.
Wow. I love it. So now, where can we find you? I know where I can find you. Let me change that. Where can they?
Well, y'all can find me on any platform. Shoot, just type on Google. Type in Shun Hendrix, spelled very uniquely now. All right. It's SHUNHENDRIX. No relation to Jimmy now. Like I said, it's SHUNHENDRIX. You can find that on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just type it in. Just see this pretty face.
Just type it in. Just type it in. Now, you know what? Before we end this, I don't want to hold you because you know what? I know you're in school. I know what it's like. Lord have mercy.
Oh, I got myself. I'm talking about my laptop is right here. I'm talking about school hop off. It's game time.
Well, since you're talking about school, you see what I'm talking about? You have to balance.
Oh, but you know what though? This has always been my life. This is always. And for some, I promise you to this day, I don't know how I did it, but by the grace of God, through high school, I made it to number 2 out of 100 and some kids they had at Douglas. I am grateful. I'm grateful.
Okay, you just said something very powerful. You have been doing this all your life.
All my life.
You've been consistent with it. That's why you are where you are now. Because you've been doing it all of your life. See, this is what I want the audience to understand. When you are passionate about something, when it's a part of you, it's nothing you just pick up. It's something you already do. You've been doing it. You know, I like to teach my students about smart types every year so that they can understand that everybody's smart somewhere. And I always tell them, if you don't do it every day, that's not your smart type. If you have not devoted time to that, that's not where you're smart at. I might be able to dance a little bit. I might be able to garden a little bit, but if I'm not gardening every day, that's not a part of my expression, and that's not really my smart type. And you know, a lot of people thought mine was music. My smart type is not music. Just because I can do it, it's not my smart type.
Flawless. No,
it's not. Listen, my smart type is people smart. Now look at that. I know how to talk to people. I know how to communicate with people. I love people. When you want to upset me, the most I've ever been upset on a job is when people were being mistreated. So that is where my smart type is. So listen out there. If you can't stick to it and you don't do it every day, that might not be where you need to be.
Don't do it at all.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You can ask anybody. Dr. Marcy, she's gonna connect with some people every single day. And when I'm upset, what lets you know that it's also your smart type. What do you do when you're upset? What do you cling to? What do you run to? I run to a conversation with God. And then I might run to a conversation with another person. So that tells you it's people. Now, what do you run to? What do you run to, Shun?
I run to my girl. I run to music. I run to food and bed. That's about it. Because honestly.
So what do you see? What do you do every day? Do you do music every day?
Oh, I do music every day, whether it's business, whether it's being creative, whether it's talking to someone, whether it's meeting a new producer, meeting a new videographer. It's not always about having the big things. Those little pieces matter the most. Keeping those relationships strong with people matters the most. And honestly, if you are one of those people who really, really, really like get into it, like myself, I take different types of lessons, vocal lessons, piano lessons. I take defensive classes for cardio to keep myself in shape. I may go do some sort of athletics with my friends on a consistent weekly basis. Like I'm trying to keep myself active, but most of all, I'm getting back into performing, and that's something I really, really miss. If anything, you know what? If anything, I'm running to right now, I'm trying to run to a stage with a microphone.
Oh, see, there it is. You invest in what you love, what you're passionate about. So listen, out there, I said that so we can start running to and fro just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that's your purpose. I know that might hurt a little bit, but
go ahead and take that with a green, with a grain of salt. Don't come out.
Listen, that's why we get into clout chasing and all this stuff, because you're trying to do something somebody else is doing. You're not being your authentic self. Yes, that's what it is. There is confidence and freedom in being who you are and operating in. Do you feel free, Shun?
Amen, I do.
Free as a bird. I do too. Free as a bird, and nobody can steer me any other way. So, audience, that's all I want to say today about that. Stick to being you. Find out what your gift area is, your purpose. And the way to find it is through God. But another way you can look at it is, how do you express yourself on a daily basis? That will give you a clue.
Indeed, it will.
Give you a clue. All right, now, Shun, I'm for real now. I'm getting ready to let you go. So you can get to your studies, because listen.
I don't mind at all. This has been a fun, always experience. I love coming to do Connect interviews with you. I love this platform. Definitely want to get it out to more and more people. I'm just honored. Thank you so much, Ms. Simmons. And thank you for the love that you've always shown me throughout the years.
And we'll continue to do that. I will continue to do that and support you, because I have always believed in you. That's point blank. I have always, and will continue to, unless you stop doing it. And then I'm gonna have a few words for you then.
Nah. This is my life. This has always been my life. I can't walk away from it.
Don't walk away from it. Now, if you could tell someone out there something to inspire them on this day, what would it be?
Love yourself. Love yourself like no one else can. Because at the end of the day, only you can make you happy. So love yourself. So look yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself, I love you.
Good. You know what? This gotta be God. Let me tell you something. That I just taught a song about that at school today.
Really?
Love. And I made the children, I said, hug yourself. Love you.
Love you.
Love you. You don't love you. You know the saying, you don't love anybody, you can't love anybody else. Love you.
Love you. Indeed.
I love me some me. You love you, Shun.
I'm not gonna lie, it took a second. But I tell you, I love me some me.
I love me some me. Yes. And so I pray and hope that anyone listening does the same thing. You have to love yourself. Love yourself. Don't let anybody make you feel less than who you are. I'm just piggybacking off that. Oh my gosh.
Trying to tell you. Get the crabs out your bucket.
Get the crabs out. Y'all heard me at the beginning. Let them fall off.
Let them fall.
It's okay. Let them fall off. Because if you try to hold on to somebody that God is trying to release you from, the results don't end up in a good place.
No,
it's okay. What's that song? Pick Up Your Feelings.
Don't forget. No, come on.
Listen, you have got to move on when these people fall off. Point blank. It's okay. God will send you destiny helpers along the way. And those people who fall off, obviously, were not your destiny helpers. Okay. All right, Shun, you want to render us another tune before we go?
I'll do this even better. I'll just do a nice little send off. It's gonna be like
do a nice little sweet send off.
Thank you for having me on the Connect party.
Well, you are quite welcome. Now tell the audience again how they can reach you.
You can follow me, like I said, on any social media platform. Shun Hendrix, SHUNHENDRX. Just follow me. Holler at me. I'm a friendly guy. Talk to me.
I'll let them. And like I say, every week on the connecting point, if you want to be on this platform to have a discussion about your creativity, to inspire others, to share your stories and ideas, contact me at integrative arts at att.net. Also, you can find the show on Instagram TV at Arts Integrate. You can find it on YouTube. Look up The Connecting Point with Dr. Marcy. So, and there's one more platform I must mention, the Connecting Point for Creators Group. It's some progressive creators there. Join us, send us a request to join, and come join some creators that are doing big things and wonderful things. But most of all, we inspire each other there, and we celebrate each other. So join us. And also join the new page, Dr. Marcy's Connection, on Facebook, Integrative Arts Creations on Facebook as well. And we have Instagram. Look up Dr. Marcy. Just look up Dr. Marcy or The Connecting Point. That's it, okay? Thank you again, Shun.
No, thank you, Miss Simmons.
Blessing us today, and get to that schoolwork.
Yes, ma'am. My dog finna punch me out. I keep like, come on, let me back in. But I love you. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Too. I love you too. And be blessed. We will talk soon.
Yes,
Peace
ma'am.
out there, everybody.